A dealer handed this back to a rider and called it normal wear. Look at that electrode. Somewhere along the way, bad information became Harley tradition, and your motor is paying the price. 13 myths are circulating right now that sound like wisdom, but act like sabotage. Number 7 alone has fooled riders for decades, and once you see the truth, you will never fall for it again. Number 13. The 10-minute warm-up that is cooking your engine. Your dad let his shovel head idle for 15 minutes before every ride. Made sense back then. Carbureted engines with loose tolerances needed time to get oil circulating and metal expanding. That was 1978. The Milwaukee 8 sitting in your garage right now has electronic fuel injection, precision machined cylinder walls, and an oil pump that pressurizes the system in under 30 seconds. When you let a modern Harley idle for 10 minutes in the driveway, you're not protecting anything. You're creating a heat-soaked condition with zero airflow across the cylinders. Air-cooled engines need movement to cool. That's the whole point. At idle, your oil temperature climbs, your cylinder head temperatures spike, and you're burning fuel with no load on the engine. The computer runs rich at idle to prevent lean burn damage, which means you're washing cylinder walls with excess fuel while the rings haven't fully sealed yet. 30 seconds to a minute. That's all a Milwaukee 8 needs before you roll out. Ride it easy for the first few miles. Let the oil come up to operating temperature under light load, and your engine will thank you for the next 100,000 miles. The guy who idles his bike for 10 minutes at every gas station isn't being careful. He's repeating advice that stopped being true 2 engine generations ago, and his oil is paying the price. This next myth is costing riders $40 every single oil change, and dealers count on you never doing the math. Number 12. The dealer-only oil that costs triple what it should. Walk into any Harley dealership and ask for their house brand synthetic. $47 a quart in some locations. The service writer will tell you it's specially formulated for Harley engines, that the additive package is unique, that running anything else is a risk. Pull up the spec sheet. What you're looking for is the viscosity grade and the certification. For a Milwaukee 8, that's typically 20 weight, 50 synthetic, meeting JASOMA or MA2 specifications for wet clutch compatibility. That's the standard. That's what your engine needs. Now walk into AutoZone, Mobil 1 V-Twin, AmSoil 20 weight 50, Red Line. All of them meet the same specification. All of them run between $12 and $18 a quart. Same chemistry, same protection, fraction of the markup. The dealer oil isn't bad. It's just not special. Harley doesn't manufacture lubricants. They contract with oil companies who produce the same base stocks and additive packages they sell under other labels. You're paying for the bar and shield on the bottle, nothing more. I've seen dyno tests, oil analysis reports, and teardowns at 100,000 miles on bikes that never saw a drop of dealer oil. The engines don't know the difference. Your wallet does. Keep your receipts, document your changes, and run whatever synthetic meets the spec. The only thing dealer-exclusive oil protects is the parts department's margin. What comes next is the myth that's cost riders thousands in unnecessary parts, and it's built on a complete misreading of federal law. Number 11. The aftermarket air cleaner that does not void your warranty. A rider walks into the dealership with a check engine light. The service writer looks at the aftermarket air cleaner, clicks his tongue, and says, "Warranty claim denied." Happens every week somewhere in this country, and every single time, it's wrong. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act of 1975 is federal law. It states clearly that a manufacturer cannot void your warranty simply because you installed an aftermarket part. They have to prove with documentation that the specific part you installed caused the specific failure you're claiming. An air cleaner that flows more air did not cause your compensator to fail. A high flow intake did not crack your exhaust stud. Unless the dealer can demonstrate direct causation, the warranty stands. Most service writers know this. They're counting on you not knowing it. The denial isn't policy, it's negotiation leverage. When you install that Stage 1 air cleaner, keep the stock unit, keep your receipt, take photos of the installation. If you ever face a warranty dispute, you now have documentation and federal law on your side. Dealers aren't lying when they say modifications can affect coverage. They're just not finishing the sentence. Modifications can affect coverage of the specific components they damage. Everything else remains protected. Coming up, the stage kit myth that has riders spending money in the wrong order and blaming the wrong parts when something goes sideways. Number 10. The stage kit installation order that does not matter. Someone on a forum told you that stage 1 means air cleaner, exhaust, and tuner all at once, or the whole thing fails. Install them out of order and you'll lean out the engine. Run the exhaust without the tune and you'll burn a piston. The engine will know. Dyno sheets tell a different story. A slip-on exhaust by itself, on a stock Milwaukee 8, changes airflow by single-digit percentages. The factory ECU has adaptive fuel maps that compensate for minor exhaust changes within parameters. Your bike will not explode. It will run slightly leaner until the computer adjusts, which it does automatically over a few ride cycles. An air cleaner by itself adds maybe 3 to 5% more airflow, again within factory adaptive range. The tune matters most when you're stacking modifications, not installing them one at a time. The reality is that most riders do stage 1 in pieces. Air cleaner first because it's easy. Slip-ons next because they want the sound. Tuner last because it's the expensive part. The bike runs fine the entire time because Harley engineers designed adaptive systems specifically for this kind of incremental modification. The all-at-once requirement isn't engineering, it's marketing. Stage kits sell as bundles because bundles have higher margins. Your engine doesn't care what order the parts arrive. Halfway through the list, and we haven't even touched the myth that's been destroying transmissions since the twin cam era. That one's coming. Number 9. The synthetic oil leak that never was. Somewhere around 2003, a rumor started spreading through Harley forums. Synthetic oil causes leaks in twin cams. Riders who switched from conventional to synthetic started seeing oil on their garage floors and blamed the new lubricant. The truth is simpler and more expensive. Twin cam primary covers and cam chest gaskets from that era had a known failure pattern. The gaskets were already deteriorating. Synthetic oil, with its smaller molecular structure and better cleaning properties, found the paths that conventional oil hadn't exploited yet. It didn't cause the leak. It revealed the leak that was already forming. Blaming synthetic is like blaming the flashlight for the crack in your foundation. Riders who heard this rumor and stayed on conventional oil didn't prevent leaks. They delayed discovering them. Meanwhile, they missed the superior thermal stability and wear protection that synthetic provides in an air-cooled engine that runs hot by design. I've run synthetic in every twin cam and Milwaukee 8 I've owned. Zero leaks that weren't caused by gasket age or improper installation. The oil doesn't eat seals. Time eats seals. Heat cycles eat seals. Synthetic just refuses to hide the evidence. If you switch to synthetic and suddenly see oil, thank the lubricant for telling you what your gaskets were already planning. The next myth sounds louder than logic. Riders hear the thunder and assume performance. The dyno disagrees. Number 8. The Baffleless exhaust that kills your torque. Straight pipes sound angry, no argument there. The raw bark of a V-twin with nothing between combustion and atmosphere turns heads at every intersection. What it doesn't do is make power. Exhaust back pressure isn't just restriction, it's tuning. Your engine's exhaust pulses create scavenging effects that help pull fresh air-fuel mixture into the cylinders. Remove all back pressure and you disrupt that scavenging. The result shows up on the dyno as lost torque, specifically in the low and mid-range where you actually feel acceleration. I've seen before and after pulls on the same bike, same tune, baffles in versus baffles out. 8 to 12 pound-feet of torque disappeared in the mid-range with the baffles removed. Peak horsepower stayed roughly the same, but the power band flattened. The bike felt lazier off the line and out of corners. The riders running straight pipes aren't making more power. They're trading usable torque for volume. That's a choice you can make, but don't pretend it's a performance modification. If you want the sound and the power, look at properly designed 2-into-1 systems or performance baffles that maintain scavenging while opening up flow. The science isn't complicated. Air needs to move with purpose, not just move. Up next is the myth that keeps riders out of their own ECU when the tools have never been more accessible. Number 7. The ECU tune that home mechanics already handle. Dealer service bays want you to believe that ECU tuning requires specialized training, proprietary software, and a $400 labor charge. Walk in for a flash after installing exhaust, and they'll quote you like it's brain surgery. Meanwhile, plug-and-play tuning solutions sit on shelves at every motorcycle accessory retailer in the country. Fuel Pack FP3, Power Vision, Dyno Jet. These units connect to your diagnostic port, load calibrated maps built for your specific modification combination, and let you adjust fuel and timing from your phone. The technology isn't new. It's been refined over a decade. The maps are developed on dynos by tuners who've seen thousands of configurations. You're not guessing. You're selecting from proven calibrations. I know technicians at dealerships who run aftermarket tuners on their personal bikes. They flash customer bikes during the day at full labor rate, then go home and tune their own for free. The software isn't dealer exclusive. The knowledge isn't locked away. For a Stage 1 combination, air cleaner, and slip-ons, a plug-and-play tuner with a pre-built map gets you 90% of the gains a custom dyno tune would deliver. The remaining 10% matters for race applications. For street riding, you're already there. Stop paying premium labor for something you can do in your garage with a laptop and a YouTube tutorial. We're past the halfway point now, and if you're still here, you're about to learn why the premium pump might be wasting your money on every single fill-up. Number 6. The premium fuel requirement that isn't. The owner's manual for most Milwaukee 8 models recommends 91 octane or higher. Riders read that word, recommended, and treat it like required. They'll pass 3 gas stations to find the premium pump, convinced that regular fuel will damage their engine. Octane rating measures resistance to pre-ignition knock, nothing more. Higher compression engines need higher octane because the air-fuel mixture is squeezed tighter before the spark fires. If the fuel ignites from compression alone before the spark hits, you get knock. Knock damages engines. Here's what the manual doesn't emphasize. Most stock Milwaukee 8s run compression ratios between 10:1 and 11:1. That's the threshold zone. Some will run fine on 89 octane. Some will ping slightly under load. The ECU has knock sensors that detect pre-ignition and retard timing to compensate. What this means in practice is that your bike will protect itself if you run mid-grade occasionally. It will pull timing, lose a few horsepower temporarily, and prevent damage. You won't grenade your engine with one tank of 89. Premium fuel is the safer choice for consistent performance, but treating it like a religious requirement when you're 5 miles from empty and the only station has mid-grade is unnecessary stress. The engine is smarter than the myth. If you've tuned your bike aggressively or raised compression, that calculation changes. Stock motor, stock tune, the flexibility exists. 3 myths left before we hit the one that explains everything about dealer service incentives. Number 5 comes for the maintenance schedule itself. Number 5, the service interval built around profit. Your owner's manual says 5,000 miles between oil changes. The dealer says bring it in every 2,500. The service writer shakes his head when you mention you're at 4,000 and counting. Who's right? Follow the money. Dealer service departments operate on labor hours and fluid sales. More frequent intervals mean more visits, more labor charges, more opportunities to sell you inspections, and top-offs you don't need. The 2,500-mile interval isn't based on oil degradation data. It's based on revenue targets. Modern synthetic oil in a Milwaukee 8 holds its viscosity and additive package for far longer than 5,000 miles under normal riding conditions. Oil analysis reports from used samples consistently show adequate protection at 7, 8, even 10,000 miles depending on riding conditions and oil quality. I'm not telling you to push your changes to 10,000. I'm telling you that the dealer's aggressive interval is designed to get you through the door, not to protect your engine. Run quality synthetic. Check your oil level regularly. Change it at the factory recommended interval unless you're doing track days or extreme heat riding. The maintenance schedule in your manual was written by engineers. The schedule the dealer quotes was written by accountants. 2 more myths before we reach the one that ties this entire list together. Number 4 separates the exhaust modifications that need a tune from the ones that don't. Number 4. The exhaust modification that handles itself. Every exhaust upgrade requires a tune. That's what forums repeat, what dealers insist, what riding buddies swear by. And for full system replacements, they're right. But slip-ons are a different conversation. A slip-on muffler replaces the end cans while keeping your stock header pipes and crossover intact. The change in total exhaust flow is minimal, typically under 10%. Your factory ECU has adaptive fuel mapping that adjusts for small variations in exhaust back pressure. It reads oxygen sensor data and trims fuel delivery accordingly. For most slip-on installations on a stock bike, the ECU adapts within a few heat cycles. You might notice slightly different throttle response for a day or two while the computer learns. Then it stabilizes. No tune required. Full system replacements, header pipes to exhaust tips, change flow characteristics dramatically. New head pipe diameters, different collector designs, reduced back pressure across the entire system. The ECU's adaptive range can't compensate for changes that large. A tune becomes necessary. The blanket statement that all exhaust modifications need tunes benefits tuner sales and dealer labor hours. It doesn't reflect the engineering reality. Know what you're installing. Slip-ons usually adapt. Full systems need calibration. Save your tuning budget for when the modification actually demands it. Number 3 is the myth that's kept riders paying $200 for information a $30 tool provides. Number 3, the diagnostic software you already have access to. Check engine light comes on. A BS warning flashes. The old advice was to trailer it to the dealer because only their computers can read Harley codes. That advice is 15 years out of date. OBD2 diagnostic tools for Harley-Davidson cost between $30 and $60 on any major online retailer. They plug into the same port the dealer uses, pull the same diagnostic trouble codes, and display them on your phone or a small screen. The Harley-specific ones read codes that generic automotive scanners miss. A P0012 code means oxygen sensor malfunction. A U1300 code indicates a communication issue on the CAN bus. The dealer's fancy computer reads those exact same codes. The difference is they charge you a diagnostic fee before telling you what the tool already displayed. Clear the code, see if it returns. Research the specific code online where thousands of riders have documented their fixes. Make an informed decision about whether the issue requires professional attention or a $20 sensor replacement you can do yourself. The dealer diagnostic advantage isn't access to secret information. It's betting that you don't know how easy that information is to obtain. We're almost at number 1, and this final myth before the top slot explains why some riders are literally cooking their engines with cheap accessories. Number 2. The chrome accessory cooking your cylinders. Chrome covers look sharp on a blacked-out engine. Chrome air cleaner housings. Chrome rocker box covers. Chrome cam covers. Riders bolt them on for the aesthetic without considering what chrome actually does to an air-cooled engine. Heat dissipation matters when your cylinders are cooled by airflow alone. Factory powder coat and wrinkle finishes aren't just styling choices. They're engineered surfaces designed to radiate heat away from the metal underneath. The texture increases surface area. The dark colors emit thermal radiation more efficiently than reflective surfaces. Chrome is the opposite. It's reflective. It holds heat. Cheap chrome, the kind that costs $40 for a set of covers, is often poorly plated over pot metal with air gaps that act as insulation. I've seen thermal camera footage of the same engine wearing stock covers versus budget chrome. The chrome-covered side ran measurably hotter on an engine that's already pushing thermal limits in summer traffic. Those extra degrees matter. Quality billet aluminum accessories with proper machining dissipate heat nearly as well as stock. They cost more because the engineering costs more. The $40 chrome kit from the bargain bin isn't a deal. It's a slow cooker for your top end. If you want chrome, buy quality. If you want cooling, keep the stock covers or upgrade to engineered billet. Don't split the difference with parts that prioritize appearance over function. One myth left, and this one explains why every other myth on this list survives. Number 1. The dealer service model that depends on your ignorance. Walk into any Harley dealership service department and you're greeted like family. The waiting room has coffee. The service writer knows your name. The whole experience feels like the brand cares about you and your bike. The financial structure underneath tells a different story. Dealership service departments are profit centers with aggressive revenue targets. Labor rates run between $130 and $180 per hour depending on market. Parts carry markups between 40 and 200% over wholesale. Every upsell, every added inspection, every fluid flush recommendation adds to the ticket. The service writer's job is to maximize revenue per visit while maintaining the relationship. That's not cynical. That's the business model. They're not bad people. They're working within a system designed to extract maximum value from every appointment. This is why the myths on this list persist. The 10-minute warm-up myth brings in overheated engines. The dealer-only oil myth sells $47 quarts. The warranty void myth discourages modifications that don't need dealer installation. The service interval myth doubles your visits. Every piece of bad information flowing through the Harley community benefits the service department's bottom line. I'm not telling you to avoid dealers entirely. Warranty work requires them. Major repairs often make sense at a shop with factory training. But routine maintenance, basic modifications, diagnostic codes, and oil changes are all within reach of any rider willing to learn. The real power isn't horsepower, it's knowing what your bike actually needs versus what someone profits from selling you. Every myth we covered today exists because it benefits someone other than the rider. Now you know which ones to ignore. The dealer doesn't have your bike's best interest at heart. The dealer has the dealer's best interest at heart. Your job is to know the difference. 13 myths down: the warm-up, the oil, the warranty, the stage kits, the service intervals, and the uncomfortable truth about who benefits when you stay uninformed. The real maintenance isn't just mechanical, it's knowing